Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the RG351p. It's right here on the table. And as you can see, we have a couple of devices here. We have a PlayStation 4 controller, Xbox One controller, and a Game Boy Advance. You might be wondering, why are these here? Well, if I pick this up with my hands and show it to you, and you can't really tell how big it is. You can't tell how big my hands are in comparison to yours. So it's good to have different devices here, so you get an idea. And I mean, heck, we can even take a standard book, Assassin's Blade here, take it up to this standard paperback size here. Find this at Any Books A Million. And that gives you a good idea of how big it is. So it's a little bit wider than your average Xbox One controller. A little bit shorter though. It's got about the same face size as a PS4 controller. These are wider apart though, the sticks. And of course we have the Game Boy Advance here. It's bigger than it, but only by a little bit. The screen is 3:2 ratio, just like the Game Boy Advance. Plays Game Boy Advance games very well, by the way. Throw that in there. I'm going to clear off the table here. And we're going to focus on this device. Alright, so here we have the device. It's got two analog sticks, normal face buttons, start, select, a little bit of a mushy D-pad. Got your SD card slot, dual speakers. We've got dual rumble support. R1, R2, L1, L2. My L2 is a little bit mushy, sticky, and you can see my screws out quite a bit here. I need to screw it back in some more, but that's because they soldered mine. Now, this is my own defect. Yours might not come like this, but it can be defects. Right here, they soldered it a little bit too low, so it gets trapped in the case. So I've had to loosen this part of my case. Continuing on, we've got our OTG ports here. This one's DC, so this is your charging port, and you got your headphone port right there. There's some nice grips on the back. Whoop, just gonna drop it. And our power button is on this side. We've got our volume wheel on this side. So let's start it up. Now, if I didn't mention it before, I'm using ArkOS. You can install this yourself. There's multiple firmwares that you can use. There's about 4 of them. I've chosen ArkOS. It's the one that I've personally researched the most. It's the one that's used by most people. So we're going to start off with some Nintendo Entertainment System here. You can use L and R to navigate your menu. Or you can use the D-pad. I like to use L and R. It skips pages. Gets you to where you want to go. So look at that. There's Castlevania III. That's a fun game. And the speakers, they work very well. You can either use the stick to play, or you can use the pad. It's a little bit bright, so I don't know how well you're going to see this. Whoa. Got hit by a bat there. Guy came out of nowhere. There's one. I saw him that time. There's another one right there. You can't quite make that jump. Come on, Simon. I wonder why these stairs aren't working. There we go. As you can see, NES runs really well. It looks great too. Oh no. Let's see if we can get up here. Okay, so if you want to add an emulator settings, you'll press Select X. That brings up the Retroarch menu, right? And that's for anything that's using Retroarch. I'm going to go in here. Now, I'm using a quick menu that I've chosen. You can also use another quick menu that looks more like a PlayStation 3's XMB. But this is my choice, and I'm quite happy with it. So here's some settings for the NES. NES works right out of the box. Set up perfectly fine. There's a lot of stuff you don't, I mean, there's not much here to really change, and there's not a lot that you have to do. It just works. You can go into your, you can back out, go back into the main Retroarch menu, and there's some more settings you can mess with. You can go to video, and you can turn on threaded video if you'd like. You can insert black frames, take a screenshot. You can turn bilinear filtering on or off. Most people recommend off. On kind of gives it a smeared effect, I believe. Now, if you want to exit an emulator, press select and start. Press again to quit. Select and start, and it quits. So let's go back. Let's head on over to Super Nintendo. You know what? Let's play Aladdin. Play it in French. Because why not? Tried learning French once. So it was an interesting experience. The language dynamically changes a lot though, so I decided it wasn't worth it for me. So as you can see, Super Nintendo plays well. I mean, oh. There's not much that doesn't work well on this. I think every single console on this device works well. Ooh. Okay. Oof. Well, so we'll go into the settings before we quit. You always go down to options if you want to look at your emulator's options. And here we've got high res mode on. We can turn that off. Might change the way the game looks a bit. Turn on high res blending. You can turn on a North American filter if you want. So it makes it look more like a television or a different type of cord that you're using. Like this is what's coming out of the back of your Super Nintendo to the TV. And you know, I keep that off. I like playing them pure pixels, but some people might like playing them as if they're on their old television back in the 90s. So go ahead and quit out. And these are hacked games. I've got Shin Megami Tensei 1, If, and 2 right there. And I'm going to go through and show later on in the video some ArkOS. Well, not even ArkOS, this is Emuelec. I'll show you how to change your UI. So here I have nothing, but in a different UI I might have something else. Now, I play this a lot at nighttime, and this is probably the best one for me. It's got the best navigation for me. But and it's also not too bright. A lot of the UIs are very bright. So we'll go to Nintendo 64. We'll bring up Banjo Kazooie. That's a good one. We'll load my state. So I actually got hit by this dang monkey. Everybody's favorite monkey. Let's see if I can remember what to do. I'm gonna get the monkey to... Okay, so there's a lot of texture errors happening right there. And that's going to happen with a lot of these. Sorry, that's going to happen with a lot of these Nintendo 64 games. The emulators provided aren't powerful enough or optimized enough for Nintendo 64. I think it's mostly just optimization that needs to be done. To see here, the mountain texture is glitching out. You can use a different emulator. I'm using Mupen 64, which is the least popular of the two for this device. The more popular one to use is Paralyze 64 because it offers less accurate emulation for speed. Some games look really bad. Their shaders do. Character models don't look great on it. So I chose to use Mupen 64. And I'll show you my settings here. It runs, and that's what's important. So I'm using the dynamic recompiler. Got the accuracy on low. Okay, if you turn it up, could cause your game to start lagging. I've got the Rice plugin. Any other plugin causes lag because they're more accurate than Rice. And I'm using 320 by 240 resolution, which is the screen's default resolution. And the rest of these settings are for other things. And you can kind of change what you want, but that's pretty much going to be your Nintendo 64 experience. Go down, we can bring up Super Smash Bros. See, every time it loads character, it kind of lags a bit. It's got to load those characters for the first time. We're gonna go into our settings. We're gonna back out. Go to video. I'm gonna go to scaling. Try 1:1. We can do a custom scaling. That'll even make this a little bit bigger so it fits the screen better. So see. And I'm more of a Link player. Oh. You can see this looks good. And you might want to change your controls to be more like modern controls. Okay, the bomb doesn't load its texture, neither does the smoke. It's important. So it's kind of playable. I think Paralyze might be better than Lupin for this. Oh. So that sounded pretty garbage. Link versus Yoshi team. So probably would want to change some settings in that one. Tonic Trouble is one of my favorite games right here from my childhood. But Nintendo 64 is a little bit finicky. You're going to want to change cores for that one. And I'll show you how to do that later on in the video. I have a bar down here, hopefully. It shows you where everything is. All the information you need to know. So we Game Boy, The Adventure Island. That's a nice game. A lot of people play Pokemon. I'll show Pokemon. And this is with the custom resolution that we had on. Kind of makes it... Oh. So this is a little bit fat. It's kind of widescreen. Whoops, didn't mean to press that. Okay, so then we go over here. We go to options, you know. You got lots of different color corrections you can do. You can change the way it looks, like the internal palette. So maybe I want it to be blue. Then you go back, go to settings, video, scaling. You choose 1:1. And then here you go. This one's a more accurate Game Boy depiction. Ah, snake. Oh, you can't go backwards. As you can see, this is accurate to how it plays on a Game Boy. So we can go back. we'll play Pokemon. Everyone loves Pokemon. It's a game you play in your pastime. We're going down to the POs. To start up Blue, this is the Super Game Boy Enhanced Edition. So, once again, you want to go in. I think you have to do this every time. So you want to go to the settings, video, scaling. So I haven't found a way to save this just yet. Which is unfortunate. But here you go. You have Pokemon right here. I think I might turn the exposure down. You're not going to be able to see the device as well, but you'll be able to see the game better. Now you even have filters that you can turn on to make this look more like it's on an actual Game Boy. So if you go select X, you go into your quick menu, at the top, down to shaders, you can load a shader preset, shader GLSL, and you find handheld, right there. Then you can choose, try some of these. I'll try Gameboy Light. And then it tries to kind of look like a Game Boy. With a backlight. I think there's some LCD ones in there too. Make it look more like Game Boy Advanced with the, you can see like the pixel lines going through it and stuff. But you know, this is really nice. And I've got a speed up button set, I think. No, I don't. So I'm not sure what speed up defaults to, because I can't find it for the life of me. I mean, obviously not that. Select that pauses, select B resets the game. So you're going to have to go into the hotkeys if you want to speed up a game. So you go to setting, quick menu. Nope. Back out of quick menu, you go to settings, go to input. You go to hotkeys, and you find, I believe it's fast forward. Right there, fast forward toggle. Press A, and you're going to just press the button that you want to set it to. I'm going to set it to L2. Right. So you back out, and anytime you want to use a hotkey, okay. So it sounds really bad with speed, obviously. Press select if you want to use a hotkey right there, select. Then L2. And look at that. Just like that. So we'll back out. Game Boy Color runs just as well as Game Boy. Just the same, you know. It's got the same screen size, resolution, everything. You can change the aspect ratio. Play Indiana Jones. Just skip through, select a random one, you know. So say it's stretched out, it looks real bad. So we'll go into the options. Just kidding. We'll back out of the quick menu. Go to Settings, go to Video, Scaling, and you back it up until it's 1:1. Okay, you got a couple you can go to, but let me tell you, 1:1 is, I mean, you can also do core provided, but I believe 1:1 is accurate as to what it's supposed to be. Core provided is also accurate to what it's supposed to be. And you can even set your own custom resolution if you'd like. So accidentally fat fingered that. Not every time you want to set that speed up hotkey so it doesn't work anymore. You're gonna have to do it yourself. So we'll turn this up. So, I mean, see? Ah. I'm not sure what button I'm supposed to press for that. Oh well. Bullet. Oh. Huh. This is an interesting game. I've never actually played it before. But you get the idea. Game Boy Color works just as well as Game Boy. Now, Game Boy Advance, this one is the best of the bunch. The screen size for this, the aspect ratio is 3:2, which is perfect for the Game Boy Advance. So we'll go in. Everybody plays Pokemon. I love Pokemon. I'd show you Pokemon on it. I think I will. But I also want to show you a game that I have on hand right now. Give you a comparison. Because I don't have Pokemon on hand with me at the moment. So we'll go into Revision 2, maybe. I don't have a state, but look at that. Wow. It's gorgeous. We'll just do the intro. We won't play through the game. Pokemon's long. Let's even turn it up some more. Hear those speakers. And I didn't play the intro because I'm dumb. It's loud though. Like, extremely loud. This thing can be louder than it needs to be. Whoops. And see, this is where all the mistakes start happening right here. Nothing's perfect. So we'll go in. You don't have to configure anything to make this better. This one just starts out really well. You go into the options, not much you can change. Not much you can change at all. We've got create game options, got solar sensor level, skip the BIOS, I mean frame skip. You can turn on interframe blending, which makes it look more like an LCD. You can do fast or accurate. So do accurate. Press the wrong button again. And now it's going to have a ghosting effect. Just like a Game Boy Advance. It's hard to see with text, but when you're playing the actual game, you'll see it. So, now, we're going to do one that I have a comparison for right next to me. Sonic Advance 2. There we go. And you press select data pause. Move that off. Here's an actual Game Boy, right? Fun. So look at that. Same game. And it runs so beautifully. MGBA is one of the most accurate Game Boy Advanced emulators out there. Mm. And there you go. It works beautifully. You go and we'll do Nintendo DS. Now, these are all the emulators that I have, okay? These are the games that I have. I don't have any of the MAME. I don't have any of the arcade stuff. They're very complicated to go through, but they run very well. And there's other videos out there detailing them. But I just want to show you some of the stuff that I play. No, Drastic. Nintendo DS. This is a little bit finicky, okay? I want to point that out. So, your L2 button swaps the screens, top and bottom. R2 splits the screens, and you can still flip them back and forth. L3 actually brings up your options. Okay, you gotta push that left stick in. Now, these are hard to read, very hard to read. I mean, down here, you can't even see them. I've got glasses with very big zoom. I think it's, I like a 4 zoom on them or something like that. I don't know, it's like -4 on one side, 4 on the other. It's crazy. And you press B. B is your button for selecting things here. Now, we're going to want to change frame skip to none and 1. This game runs very well that way. Cutscenes are going to have a little bit of lag. You can try frame skip 1 or 2 for that, but this game runs amazing. Like, actually playing the game, okay, runs amazing with no frame skip. For the cutscene, we'll try frame skip 1. I mean, it runs amazing on frame skip 1 too. So we'll do automatic. We'll do frame skip 1. We'll back out. There you go. That speeds up the cutscene. I mean, the game runs great this way too, but I personally prefer no frame skip because I think this game runs great with no frame skip. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to turn frame skip back to off, none. And then I'm going to back out. And look at that. Instant speed up. When you're just playing this game, you're not worried about the cutscenes or anything, this is what you want. I'm going to turn it down some. It's very loud. We're going to boof all the blocks. There was a slowdown there. I'm not actually sure why, but, you know, probably just loading. Okay, we're going to get our mushroom. Look at this. I'm just going to smash through everything. So maybe frame skip 1 is the way to go. I prefer none, but, you know, I'm not going to fault you if you go with 1 frame skip. It might be the best experience. Oh my goodness. There we are, we're at the end. And it is so nice. Now to exit the simulator, you gotta press L3. You go down to the bottom, press B, closes it up. Now, Pokemon, right? A lot of people play DS for Pokemon. If you want to play it for games that require the stylus, you're gonna have issues. You do have a stylus, okay? But for constant movement, you will have issues. And also there are no save states. So you cannot, the save states do not work. You'll see them here in the menu. They're down here. They don't work. Okay, this is a terrible emulator. But it's good for this device. It works on this device. Nintendo DS emulation 10 years ago was a dream. It barely worked. And look where we are now. We've got it on this tiny little handheld device. It's not even stronger than the computers that we had back, I mean, even 10 years ago, right? Now, there's always going to be this mouse pointer at the top right. I hate to tell you, it's always going to be there. Right stick activates your stylus. Pushing R3 in lets you use it. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to load up Platinum here. It runs okay. We're going to go into the settings. I'll show you different frame skip settings here with this game. So by default, it's on 2. You can change it to none if you want. Okay, this is up to you. You hear there's a little bit of stutter now. Just a tiny bit of stutter in the music right there. I even turn it up so you can hear. With no frame skip, this game does have issues. It's very nasty. A lot of garbage sound right there. So you're going to go back in, keep that on automatic, keep it on 2. 1 does not fix the issue. 2, however, beautiful. Sorry, I got a little table here. I'm just kicking it around. Now, get that off. Stylus does work. I'll show you here. So you push the right stick in to activate it. Just like that. It only works on the right side when you have it split screen like this. Can't get it to go to the left side, see? Won't go any further. Stuck on that border. Right there. Now, for the sake of time, and me forgetting to save in Pokemon Heart Gold, we're not gonna do any more DS here. But you get the idea. DS games, they run. Depends on what you want to play. They're a little bit finicky. You're gonna have to mess with the frame skip. Everything else here runs fine. Now here's a big one. Okay, we got Dreamcast. We're gonna go down to Sonic Adventure 2. This is the game everybody loves. Everybody loves Yakuza as well. I haven't tried Yakuza. Not Yakuza, it's Shenmue. Everyone loves Shenmue. Everyone loves Shenmue. Have not tried Shenmue yet. We'll get there, you know. We'll try it out. We'll see what we see. But for now, this is what we got. We got Sonic. I'm gonna show you some Sonic. So this game of tag is boring. I'm out of here. You know, usually you do City Escape. I already did City Escape. It runs well, but I'll show you this boss battle in the next stage. Oops, my box. I need my box. Ooh, that was not nice. A little bit of lag when he destroys boxes. Just do it the normal way, I guess. Blew it. There we go. It runs really well. Watch this cutscene here with the faker. What? It all starts with this. A jewel containing the ultimate power. That's the Chaos Emerald. Now I know what's going on. Military has mistaken me for the likes of you. So, where do you think you're going with that emerald? Say something, you fake hedgehog! Chaos control! Little bit of garbage right there. Garbage sound. I'll skip through the Knuckles cutscene. Just kind of give you an idea of how it runs in game. I mean, there's an emerald right there. What luck? That was just wrong. Let's grab this Chow World key. Oh, look at that. Wow. That's some world record emerald hunting right there. I feel bad about that. That's wrong. So, one important thing to note. When you come into the emulator, right when you start playing, you have to go to your controls, port 1, and you're going to have to set your analog type to none. Okay? It's going to say you don't have a memory card, and it will not save the first time you do this. You're going to have to restart the emulator, and you're going to want to save core remap file, or your stick and D-pad will not work, which sucks. You won't be able to play the game.
Welcome to Chow World.
This game is very playable. I mean, look at this. We're in the Chow world. We're shaking trees. I don't have any fruit. And I'll go through my settings real quick in the quick menu. Go to options. Let's see, I've got it at 320 by 240. I've seen people play at 640 by 480, but I get this tear on the side of the screen. So I don't know, I could try upping it more and it just gets worse. But yeah, I've got it set to per strip instead of per triangle. Fast loading. I have MIP mapping turned off, I believe. A couple of other stuff down here, it's turned on, turned off. Yeah, it's gonna go slow. Hopefully you'll be able to read this. If not, you know, maybe I'll zoom in. I'll do some editing afterwards, get a zoom going on the screen. But yeah, I mean, this game runs. We'll crack a chow the wrong way. Let him know we love him. Look at him. He's fine. He's fine. Little baby boy's fine. He loves me. We'll even shake him. Look. I would change the pet. Or oh no, there we go. We wanna pick. Oh, well. There we go. Shake him. Look at that. Baby's fine. Shake the baby. Shake the baby. Okay. Back to our content. We'll just beep beep. I'm gonna save state because I don't trust anything about the VMU right now. Okay, I want you to know that. Dreamcast had a lot of saving problems, so I recommend save stating. And I quit before the save state finished, so the save state didn't even save. Look at me, I'm a fool. But yeah, it works. It works. PlayStation works well. Go down to my favorite games right here, Dragon Warrior 7. Load a state, which is select L. Here I am in the world. Select R. Lets you save state. Or at least it lets me save state. And I've got select L2 for my speed. I did change a few things in the emulator to make it look better and run a little bit better. And I'll go over that in a minute. Excuse me, sir. Real quick, I'm just trying to find a battle. Kind of demonstrate. Well, there we go. Ta-da! It works. And that's what matters, right? Everything works. It looks good and it works. So if I go into my settings here, we are in the quick menu. Go to options. I've got no frame skip on. Now, if you play a very heavy 3D game, this one's not super heavy on the 3D side. A lot of the environments are 3D mixed with 2D graphics. I've got frame skip on 0. I have vibration enabled. Dithering is off because dithering creates gross squares all over the screen. It's supposed to simulate old televisions. It's very weird. Or it's supposed to make it look better on old TVs. I'm not entirely sure. Well, I did have enhanced resolution speed hack turned on. Right now I have the slow version turned on. So you're going to want to mess with both of these. They both look good. The speed hack can cause some graphical issues in games. It hasn't in this game, but it might in others. But it makes the game look better. So turn this off. It's probably not going to see much of a change, honestly, but it's just tiny, really tiny bit better. Just a tiny bit. So we'll back out of this game. I haven't tried Final Fantasy VII, but that's a game that's very popular. A lot of people love it. Heck, here you go, portable Final Fantasy VII, not on a PSP. Right here. I'm sure it runs. I just remember something. So if you compress your PlayStation files, okay, to make them smaller, just so they fit on your little tiny SD card, this happens. This isn't loading. Now if this takes too long, it will not load. So I'm going to let this run. We'll see if it loads. If it doesn't load, oh well, I guess I'll have to decompress the file. Because Final Fantasy VII is a very big file. So to decompress it, it has to use a lot of CPU power. And it just might be too much for this. It'll time out. Well, I'm going to be honest. It's been about 8 minutes. It hasn't timed out. I've had it time out before. You can leave this loading if you have files that are in 7Z or zip format, and eventually it will load. I honestly don't want to wait 10 to 40 minutes for this little device here. To do that, I have other things that I want to show you guys and kind of talk about. That's an important thing to note, though. If you're gonna zip your files, you'll have to wait. And that's why I unzipped Dragon Warrior, because it's the game I'm currently playing. Honestly, that's one of the things. If you're playing long RPGs and there's only a couple of games you're playing at a time, maybe put them on here. Save their save data on your computer along with your ROM file or your ISO, and keep them in a folder. Keep them for later. If you want to put them back on here, you can do that. But if you want to take them off, like you're done with that game, take it off, because your SD card, these things fill up fast. I've got one that's 130 gigabytes. It wasn't enough, so I compressed my files, and I got 50 more gigabytes of space to do stuff with. But here I got like 100 PlayStation 1 games on here. I got a problem. They're all RPGs I want to play. And if it's a big game, it's going to take a while for it to decompress. I could try Bloody Roar 2. Maybe it'll load faster. Maybe it won't. Look at that. Oh, I was wrong. I thought it loaded immediately because it showed ArkOS's logo. So we're going to PSP. Tekken 6 is kind of the game everybody plays. I'm sure everyone's seen gameplay of that. I'll go ahead and play it. I'll show you some of my settings with it. I'm an RPG guy. I like fighting games too, though. So we'll just go ahead and give her a go. Your control swap, B is now your A button, because this is a PlayStation controller now. It's PSP. So you gotta remember that. This is circle, this is A. So reverse it up.
Roger Jr.
Now before we fight, just want to go, you press L2 to enter your settings with this. You press R3 for load states, L3 for save states, I believe. The hotkeys will go into our settings, which once again, B is a select. Now, this is what I've got for the graphics here. My frame skip is set to 1. A lot of people recommend 2. But I, once again, think 1 is the smoothest experience. You don't lose out on the animations. Still works really well. Some stages not as well. Like this stage right here is very demanding. So it does not look as good. So like this stage, maybe frame skip 2 would be better, but you really lose out on a lot of those animations. So it's important to note that. Like I'll go here, we'll do frame skip 2. Two frames. You can change that from number of frames to percent of FPS. So maybe with percent of FPS, it could look better. Here, music's not having as much trouble now, right? The audio back in, but you see, everything's kind of choppy. Like the animations don't look as good. It's much faster, but it's not good faster, right? We can go in here, we could try percentage of frames. Percent of FPS, right? That might be even better. Because I believe if you do 2, it halves it to 30 FPS. Maybe 15. Nah, that's freezing. So we'll go back in. And we'll choose, with percent of FPS, let's try 1. Give her a look. That's okay. I'd say that's really playable. Once again, for me though, I just like number of frames, 1. So that's my preferred method. Everything looks good. Plays well. But see, I'm not the type of person to go out and say I'm gonna play Tekken 6. I mean, I have this on here for those weird moments where I'm really like, yeah, let's beat somebody up. I'm feeling like punching somebody as a kangaroo. That's what this is for me. I want to do the roll attack again. It's this and then, well, no, I didn't do it. These gloves kind of make it hard. But yeah. So we'll exit. I got a couple of other games here. Persona 3 runs really well on this with frame skip 1. I think you can even play it without frame skip. So if you want to play Persona 3 on PSP, this is a very good device. Very good for that. Then we got a port here. And I'm recording in 60 FPS. And this is the Super Mario 64 port for these devices, okay? This is beautiful. I even have an edited camera that's so different from like basic Mario. Like this is the craziest experience I've ever had with Super Mario 64. Like it's the smoothest because it's in 60 frames per second. Like it's crazy. And hopefully you can see that. Like I said, I've got this set up for 60 frame recording, 60 FPS recording, and you can just see how gorgeous this is. The camera is a little bit weird. It's in the beta stages right now. Maybe not even beta. I think it's in alpha stages. It's the something dog camera. I don't know if I'd recommend it. It doesn't work super well. I think I'd just stick to normal Mario's camera. I mean, see, look, I even screwed everything up somehow. Oh. It runs amazing on this device. I think this is probably the best Super Mario 64 experience you can get to date. I had this thing on the Nintendo 64. I have it on the Wii U. I've got it on the Wii. I mean, I don't want to race the turtle right now. I'd probably do a bad job at it. We're just kind of running around, just doing things, right? We're showcasing some stuff. Hey, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So, for this game, you would not want to play it emulated. You want to get the port. And soon, Ocarina of Time's source code should be decompiled and recreated on PC. They're working on that. And you'll be able to, I mean, hopefully somebody will create a script to port it over to this, right? So I'd wait for that. Zelda runs well on this. It's not bad. I could go back and show it to you. I played Majora's Mask for a little bit on it, and it looked really good. There's a couple of frames that were a little bit choppy, but you know, that's what you get with this device. Oh, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. Run, Mario, run. Like your life depends on it. Ooh. So this does not hit it, I guess. Bruh. Look at that. Definitive Mario right here. And we died. Into the abyss, Mario goes. Okay. So that, select start, backs you out, just like anything else. So, last but not least, let's just yank everything with my headphones, right? This thing's has not been centered this entire time. I apologize for that. So we're gonna go in with our fat gloves. Press the pause button. Display settings. You got your brightness. Now this thing does not get any less brighter until you get below 30%. You get around 30%, it does nothing, right? You can't even tell there's a difference. Let me turn it down more. Let me pick it up. I need my thumbs. Should have recorded this at about 8% so you could actually see it. But yeah, so UI settings is where you change your themes. I think a fun theme is Epic Noir. So go into Epic Noir here. You want to press back for it to load. You can't back out. And look at that. I got a whole new setup here. Pretty cool, right? Now if you want to change what emulators you're using, with the start button over here, the emulator settings, you can change each and every one of these. If you have ArkOS, like me, you can change between 64-bit or 32-bit RetroArch. Okay? Well, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day, have a nice night, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, I can't think of anything else. I don't know if you need me, if you want to see any games played on this, leave a comment below, send me a private message. You know, a little bit awkward, get a little bit anxious about those. I'm like, oh man, they're gonna hate me. But you know, I've worked really hard on this video. I have an editing software now, and I really wanted to do the best I could. This is recorded on an iPhone. Not the best thing in the world, but yeah, we'll see how it turns out. I really appreciate your view.